Hello, my name is Moshe Y Bressler. I'm a fourth year medical student at NYTCOM, and today I'm going to discuss our research which uses the non-invasive technologies of confocal microscopy and the pigmented lesion assay, which is a piece of tape that takes skin off the top layer, takes cells from the top layer of the skin and analyzes it for RNA expression. So the goal of our study, which is a 5-patient case series, is to see the real-world utilization of the new technology of the pigmented lesion assay. Specifically, what we're concerned is if there's a positive result, there's two genes they test. One which is highly associated with melanoma, it's called PRAME, the M stands for melanoma. The other one is LINC. LINC is new. They just figured it out. They're still figuring out what role it has in melanoma. So our goal is to know how to use this test in real life. Specifically, if someone has a LINC positive lesion and a PRAME negative lesion, what does that mean to the clinician? Do they still go forward with a biopsy? So the advantage of using non-invasive imaging in our case series is that we can keep the lesion on the person's body for 3 months or longer, however long we decided, and we can see what happens. And when we did the initial scan, these lesions came up as benign, no excision required, and that's what we did. And instead of being frozen in time from a biopsy, we were able to follow it in real time and see how it progressed. So that is for the introduction. Materials and methods. We're recording all patients who come in for the tape strip assay, and when they get a positive result, they get a confocal scan, and depending on that scan, they may get a biopsy or an excision. The goal is to catch a melanoma and cut it out. And if it's not a melanoma, to do none of those, to not cut it out. So these patients did not have melanoma, did not get it cut out. That's our materials and methods. Let's get into the results. Let's just show this cool feature. These will automatically play, and that is the confocal microscope image going down. We're going to go and see a clear definition of what this looks like on the next one. It'll be a tiny drop bigger. Let's go into the results a little bit closer. So you can take a look at all the 5 cases right here, and they all share similar characteristics. They have these peripheral dots on the edges. I'm going to continue drawing over here. They have these little globules. This one, we're going to put a little, this one is special. We're going to talk about in a second. And then again, more dots. Okay. The one that's special, this one kind of looks like 2 different lesions. You have the this one on the right hand side, and on the left hand side there's more than 2. There's like 2 colors present. So and this one we actually ended up biopsying and actually came back as benign, no re-excision required. So let's talk about these lesions. So we're going to go through the confocal really quick. Reading confocal is difficult, so it's beyond the scope of this presentation, but the take home is what we're looking for is the distribution that this lesion sits underneath the skin and the pattern along with other key features. Key features that are worrisome for melanoma, not present. The pattern that was noticed, benign, consistent with congenital or mildly dysplastic nevi. So the take-home message is out of all of these 5 lesions, even the one that was biopsied that appeared a little bit different, they all shared some sort of characteristic. They had some similar features on dermoscopy. They had those pigmented globules at the edges, which showed that they are growing. And they all showed benign features on the confocal scan. And they did not require a re-excision, an excision. They were fine to keep on the patient's skin. We followed them for an additional 3 months, and there were no findings that would indicate the presence of a melanoma. And these patients are walking around with these lesions on them, and they're fine. And if they want to get them removed for cosmetic reasons, by all means. But these patients are very happy that they did not need a large excision. Some of these were in very cosmetically sensitive areas. Important take home from what we deduced from this 5-patient series is that we're going to expand this and roll this out into a formal retrospective review. For the time being, this affirms that a link-positive lesion that's prey-negative these lesions did not show diagnostic features of melanoma on RCM. But there may be a role in link in growth. So we're typically taught that of the ABCDEs of melanoma, that E is for evolution, and evolution is bad. That is true. However, some lesions can exhibit benign growth, especially in young people, as we see here, and perhaps the link gene may have a role in this benign growth. That is the future question that we have yet to answer. So we're going to keep our eyes out for this, and this is the beginning of a larger review, a study, and we're going to continue testing the efficacy of these advanced non-invasive innovations with non-invasive imaging, so we can keep the lesions on the skin and see how it reacts in real life. Thank you for your time. If you want to connect with authors on social media, by all means do. I'm going to put our contact and the best way to get in touch with us on the information associated with this presentation. Thank you.